Hey lovelies, I hope you guys are all okay. I hope everyone's having an amazing week. Welcome back to all the girls out there. As always, it is a blessing to have you guys here with me. On today's episode, I want to talk about something that's deeply been on my heart recently. Like, it's something that I see happening. It's something that I feel like a lot of us girls need to hear, basically. And that thing is just that we need to actually start loving yourself. We need to get up and show yourself the love that you need. And I know it sounds so cliche, like everyone is like, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself, blah, de, blah, de, blah. But I don't mean it in a way where it's like you have to love yourself the way a romantic or significant other would love yourself. But I just mean love yourself enough to show yourself the compassion, respect, and having the understanding towards yourself, because there's so many things that we can go through in life and so many things that can happen that cause us to either beat ourselves up about things, or let certain people treat us in certain ways, let certain things slide, and not give ourselves the care that we need. And yeah, for me, it's like an ongoing theme that I see amongst so many girls, so many women, even me myself. Like, I've experienced it, and alhamdulillah, in the past coming year or so, like, my self-love has built significantly. Not to say that before I didn't love myself, not to say that any of you guys don't, but there's still certain areas in our lives where we're not actually genuinely showing ourselves the love that we deserve. A lot of people have like different meanings of self-love, and like I said before, a lot of people think that it's something to do with like loving yourself in a way that a romantic partner loves you, and I think that that's very far from it, because I something that I always say to people is like, love comes in different forms and in different people. And even when it comes to loving yourself, you can always love yourself in different forms. For example, the way you love your romantic partner is not going to be the same love you have for your mom, or the same love you have for your friends or your cousins. It's all going to differ. And so even when it comes to loving yourself, the love that you have for yourself is going to be way different than the love that you have for a partner. So when people are telling you, oh, you need to love yourself before you get into a relationship, it's not the love that that partner would give you, but it's having that love so that you have the dignity and respect before you walk into it. So for me, it's self-love is more about having self-respect towards yourself, having compassion as well, and understanding. A lot of people do confuse self-love with self-care. While self-care is like a form of self-love, it's a way of showing yourself love, because you're showing yourself respect. For example, things like having a skincare routine, like a wind down night, everything that's showing yourself love, because you're caring for yourself, you're giving your body what it needs, or your brain the time to rest. It's a form of showing yourself love. However, it's not self-love itself, because you might be showing yourself love in that way, but there's other ways where you may not be showing yourself love. For example, you may be not going to the gym by neglecting yourself, or you may be allowing a certain friend or someone to keep treating you in a way which you don't like. And that way, if you're not setting that boundary, you're not showing yourself self-love, because you've not set the boundary and you keep allowing someone to disrespect you or keep allowing someone to hurt you. And have self-care isn't going to stop that person from disrespecting you. Do you know what I mean? So in that case, self-care is something different to self-love. And I feel self-care is so important. Don't get twisted. Self-care is amazing, but don't confuse it as in like, oh yeah, I already love myself, I have a everything shower every week. Like, that doesn't account for all the different areas of self-love. And I feel like it can fluctuate. I don't think anyone should put like pressure on themselves and feel like, I don't love myself enough. Da, da, da. Even if you're someone who've reached like top epitome of self-love, it can fluctuate at times. There may be new things that come and you just don't know how to deal with. And in that moment, you may not have showed up in the best way for yourself, but that's fine. Again, if you have that self-love in general, like at your core, having the compassion to understand that, okay, cool, I didn't show up the best way for myself at this time, but it's okay. If I had known better, or if I was in a position to do better, I would have done better. But in the time, this is how I felt, and this is how I'm going to go moving forward. This is how I'm going to act moving forward, and giving yourself the grace and compassion for not showing up that way. And even like in multiple things, it might not even be in a case where you may not have felt like you've showed yourself self-love, but even if it's like you're striving you're striving towards certain goals and stuff, and you've not accomplished them, or you've not said what you said you was going to do. Yes, you might be annoyed at yourself, but having that kind of that self-love and the compassion to understand that it's okay, I didn't do what I was meant to do, but we're gonna move on, like going forward, instead of just hating yourself and beating yourself up about it. Also, on my website, the self-compassion guide is there if you do ever feel like you're in this position, because I know we feel like we're in this position all the time. So feel free to go on my website, click, you can download it, it's literally free, and it will just give you a bunch of tips to kind of go through it and help with when you're having those down days and you feel like, oh, I feel so crap because I've not done anything, or like I'm not behind, or I'm not where I want to be. It will help you. You don't need to go through everything because there's literally so much on there, but there's so many things like journal prompts, exercises, even like resources that you can use to help. So do take a look at that if you feel like it will benefit you. Another thing is when you lack self-love, it affects your feminine energy. Like you're not in your feminine energy, because to be in your feminine energy, you're flowing, you feel free, you feel safe, you feel happy. If you don't love yourself, you're not feeling happy, and you're not feeling safe, you're not feeling secure in yourself. And so you don't get to experience the fine things in life. You don't get to be in the moment. You're constantly in survival, or in like always constantly thinking about the wrongs and the other things that are not necessarily like basically about your flaws. Yeah, you keep thinking about your flaws and focusing on that rather than I can't articulate the words, but your shortcomings rather than your good qualities, the good things about yourself. And so you don't thrive, you don't get to be creative, you don't get to be playful, because you're so focused on the things that you're not doing, or your vibration is so low. You're allowing people to drain, you're allowing people to take your energy, you're allowing people to do all these things. And so when that happens, it's like you're not in your feminine. And for those who want to be in their feminine or on that journey, it's not really helpful, is it? And there's so many, I don't think I touched up on like the different ways that we don't show our self-love, because there's just so many different ways. Like one way it can look is through like not having discipline, and this one like might seem kind of like counterintuitive, because you think when you by doing something that you don't want, how is that showing your self-love? But it is, because it's like you're doing something that you know that you need. You may not feel like it in the moment, but you know it's going to benefit you in long term. For most people, it's usually always like gym or exercise or something like that. Like you don't want to go in the moment, but you know really and truly that that's what's best for you. And so you decide to do it because you know that that's what's going to benefit you. And you know that in the long run, it's good for yourself. So you're going to get up and do it because you love yourself, because you honor yourself and you honor your body. That's why you're going to try and do it. Even working towards your goals and the dream life, like you care about yourself and you want yourself to get to that dream position. So you're going to at least try, even if you don't like get there 100% straight away. You're at least going to make the effort to get to where you want to be, because you know that that's your dream life. For example, like if let's say you're going out, you're going to a fun fair or something, someone wants to get some like, okay, let's give this example. Let's say two people, they're going out, it's on a date, it's a boy and a girl. The guy wants to win some teddy for the girl. He's going to at least try. He doesn't know that he's 100% going to get it, but he's going to at least try and get it because he likes it and he thinks that he deserves it. Same goes for you. If you, for your goals and things that you want to get, at least try to get it because you deserve it and you want it. If you don't try, then how is that aligning with yourself, and how is that you trying to actually show yourself love? Do you know what I mean? Another thing is self-care, like I mentioned before. Like, have showing, if you don't have self-care rituals, if you don't actually get up and shower, look after yourself, look after your body, you're neglecting yourself. You are not looking after yourself. You're not showing yourself love. If a mom had a child or a father had a child and they didn't wash their kid, they just let their kids like sit there and they never wash them, that's neglect. They're not looking after the kid properly. Same thing with you. You've reached a certain age where your mom doesn't have to bathe you anymore. So why is it that you're not looking after yourself? Obviously not just showering, but just things like that. Similar thing comes to diet and nourishing your body. If you're constantly feeding yourself crappy foods, yeah, you're neglecting your body. That's not good. I know obviously there's like so many different circumstances, like especially if we live with our family and our parents cook and blah blah blah, the ingredients are in the house and finances. I understand all of that. I'm not saying you have to have the most healthiest diet, but just listening to your body, at least feeding yourself. Because I'm gonna be so real, guys, I'm so bad when it comes to eating. Like I will not eat. Like it's actually really bad. I don't even know why. Sometimes I just genuinely cannot be bothered because I just don't want to do dishes. And again, like that's something that I have to work on, and I have been working on. Alhamdulillah, it's been getting a lot better. But just in those senses, like we need to stop neglecting ourselves. Another big thing is boundaries. Like this is probably the hardest one for me, because especially when it comes to people that we love and people that we care about, when it's random people, especially like new people, sometimes it's just like whatever. But to people that know us already and people that we care about, it's a lot harder to set these boundaries, because they might do something that we are uncomfortable with, but we don't want to say it because we don't want to be perceived in this way. We don't want to spoil the relationship, or we don't want to do anything. But at the end of the day, it comes back to bite us, because if we don't set that boundary, they're going to keep doing it and we're going to keep feeling unsafe and keep feeling upset. Again, that's neglecting ourselves, and that's not us feeling good. And I feel like it is so important that we learn to set boundaries and we practice with boundaries to be able to show people like, look, this is my boundary and this is where I draw the line. Over time, I've like developed way better boundaries. Like before, I was so crap. I'm a lot better at setting boundaries with like now than I was before. It might not be like the ultimate craziest of boundaries, but it's still more. For example, before I would just be friends with anyone. I didn't care if it didn't really align with me. I just wanted to look cool, whatever. Now, if I can see that someone doesn't align with me, I'm okay to let go. I'm not going to force it. It's never beef or like arguments. It's literally like, look, me and you, we're not going to get along. We're not going to be the same type of people. And I'm not able to set that boundary and not be there. If I'm with people who are constantly talking crap about people, I'm able to just shut off and not speak to them, or just walk off when I'm uninterested in the conversation, and not have to feel a certain type of way. Like if they're going to say something or do something, for me, it's like, well, we're not aligning here. Like I'm not interested in this, and I'm not going to force myself to be interested in this. And so I walk off, and that's a form of self-love. I wasn't able to do this a couple of years ago. And again, there's still certain boundaries that I'm still struggling to be able to set now. And it's an ongoing kind of journey, but hopefully inshallah I'm able to get there. But those are like just different things and different forms of way that we may not be showing ourselves self-love. Also in relationships, guys, I'm so sorry, but every one of you are queens. Like I don't care what anyone has to say, you deserve to be treated like a queen. So if anyone is treating you in a way where you feel like it's not good enough, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, because it knows. And I'm not going to tell anybody to leave any relationship that they're in or whatnot, but you know what makes you feel good, you know what makes you feel unhappy, and you need to understand that you are that girl regardless of whatever happens. And as long as you show up and you know that you're that girl, the guy will act accordingly. And if you love yourself enough, when a guy is not acting accordingly, you're not going to sit down and take the bull crap, because it's like, you know what you deserve and you don't want to ever go through that kind of stuff again. So like I'm saying, if there's a certain way that you want to be treated and you feel like you're not being treated that way, you need to like look at yourself and look at what is it like, how is this not serving me, and should I even be here? Or but yeah, all I'm saying is that if it doesn't feel right, what are you doing? You need to work out what can you do to make yourself feel better. Why is it that you're staying if you're thinking, oh, like this person's gonna change, but they're not even showing up in the way that you want them to show up? You can't control anyone, but you can control what you have for yourself. If someone close to you was to be treated like that and said, oh yeah, but they're gonna change, then cool, let them come to you when they're actually changed. Okay, let's say you don't feel comfortable. You've set that bound. You've told them I don't feel comfortable, and it continues. You are constantly letting your boundaries be pushed, and so you're teaching them that you're teaching them and you're teaching yourself that how you feel, your safety doesn't matter. You don't care about yourself and you care about the other person. You're more scared to be lonely than you are to be alone and actually feel safe, which is scary. And again, is a sign of is not loving yourself. Again, like I'm saying, it doesn't need to be the most thing where it's like, oh, I take myself out on dates, or which is like, I love solo dates, by the way. So if you're gonna go on a solo date, I'm here for it 100%. But like, it's just understanding that inside deep in your gut what is right for you and how you want to be treated and how you want to feel. And if you don't feel that way, if you don't love yourself enough, you're going to constantly feel crap, and you're not going to feel good about yourself, and you're not going to love yourself, and you're not it's just not going to move forward. So what I'm telling you now is to just make sure that you evaluate your self-love. Make sure you evaluate things and how you feel and how you act, and understand that keeping yourself safe is so important. It doesn't mean that you're entitled or you're better than anyone in any shape, way, or form. It's just a matter of keeping yourself safe and keeping yourself loved. It doesn't mean that you can't love people and you can't respect people and you can't show people respect. It's never that. And I'm never here to tell you that. And I'm never, ever gonna recommend that or tell you that that's what you should do. But I'm just saying that you need to make sure that your safety is a priority, and how you feel in your body is really important, in moderation and understanding of other people's feelings too. So like I'm saying, if you don't feel like you're being treated right, you don't need to batter someone, you don't need to beat them up, you don't need to cuss them out, you don't need to do anything, but you at least need to have the love to say, look, this is not how I want to be treated, and act accordingly to that. Anyway, I just went on a little tangent because I could go on about this like forever, and I promise you I will go on about this another time and talk about it in more like detail and specifically. But I just wanted to make sure that all you guys out there understand that you just deserve to be treated like a queen. You deserve to treat yourself like a queen, and you deserve to be treated like a queen by everyone around you. And to be a queen, you need to treat others like queens too, and whatever. But what I'm trying to say is, anyway, you have to love yourself. It's so important to get through this life, to help us with the things that like we want to do, to be able to attract our dreams and our goals, and just to be able to flourish, I guess. But again, like I said, like it's just so important. And there are a couple of ways like we can practice self-love and stuff like that. If you feel like you're in a position where you genuinely, oh my gosh, like my self-love is so low, blah blah blah, I don't love myself enough, don't feel crap. You don't need to feel like that. Everyone is on their own journey, everyone is growing, and everyone does love themselves. Of course, everyone wants the best for themselves. However, it's going to take time to reach certain levels. Like I said, a couple of years ago, I couldn't have set certain boundaries. Now I can set certain boundaries, and there's certain boundaries I'm still working towards. And hopefully I can look back at this, I don't know, by the end of this year, inshallah, and look at myself and be like, wow, at this time I couldn't even do this. Like I look at sometimes to think that the way I used to think back in the day, and I think, woo, Like, wow, that you don't even care about yourself. What the heck? But now, like, I'm like, alhamdulillah for where I've come. So don't ever feel like, oh, I'm so behind. I don't love myself enough. I don't do this. Like, it's never the case. But let me tell you something. To get up and start loving yourself is literally not that hard. Like, all you have to do is literally make the decision today. Like, cool, I'm gonna love myself. Like, it's literally that simple. And don't get annoyed at me and think, oh, like, well, how am I just going to set boundaries overnight? How am I going to It's not going to happen. You're not. But once you make the decision, you're going to work towards it. As soon as you say, right, today I'm not for this, that's what you're going to work towards. And so you're going to start loving yourself regardless. And also you're going to build the self-compassion on the day tomorrow. If there's a boundary and you say, okay, I'm going to set it, and then you don't do it, the compassion comes in. Okay, it's fine, I didn't do it, but next time I'm going to do it. And at least at this time I had the intention of setting that boundary. Because if you don't make the decision, you're not even going to try to set the boundary. If you don't make the decision, you're not even going to try and set that self-care day. If you don't make the decision, you're not even going to try and work towards discipline. So the first step is to make the decision, and once you do, you're going to automatically start loving yourself regardless. And like I said, it's stepping stones, but always make sure you have that compassion there with you, because I feel like that's so important. Because whenever we're trying to upgrade and do better things, whenever you don't have that compassion, you just end up killing yourself. Like, you feel really crap and you don't feel good about yourself. But yeah, definitely just love yourself. And always, regardless of whatever I'm talking about, I think it's so important to pray and just remember God and have remembrance in Him, and ask Him to help you on your journey of self-love and live according to what He teaches as well, because that will always encourage you to love yourself and care for yourself too, as well as it will encourage you to care for others and balance the two out in this world. But just know that you're not on this journey alone. Everyone is here with you, and I'm actually genuinely rooting for you. Like, from the bottom of my heart, guys, I want you to understand that it's so important that you love yourself. And if you're ever feeling like you're not worthy of love, if you're down, I'm telling you right now that you are. And my contact email is at the bottom of this podcast, regardless of whatever you're watching it on, or it's on my website, to allthegirlsouthere.com, which, by the way, I've released, alhamdulillah, so you can go and look at it and find things on there. I'm still building it at this current point in time. I don't know when you're going to hear it, this episode, but there might be more things. But going back to what I said, like, don't hesitate to go fill in the contact form or email me, and just know that, like, you are amazing and you got this, and you deserve to be loved no matter what anybody tells you. It can be hard sometimes in different areas and different things. You can feel low when you're comparing yourself to people, comparing yourself to others. But I promise you, you are enough and you are here for a purpose. Okay? So don't ever think you're less than anyone else, because just as much as I'm serving a purpose in this world, you are too, and you are here for a reason. And whoever it is that went in labor for you for however long they went in labor for and carried you for 9 months did not go through all of that for no reason. So don't sit here and think you're not worthy of love, because you are. Anyway, I could go on about this for years, but I promise you guys, I'm literally giving you a hug through the mic right now. Yeah, you got this, and I believe in you, and thank you for being here with me today. I hope this has got to someone and has touched one of you girlies. My message basically to you guys today is, all I can say is to love yourself. Like, love yourself. You're amazing. You're a queen. I love you just from the fact that you're a woman, and I love you, and I got you, and you got this. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for spending your time here with me today. I hope you guys took something from this. I know I rambled on a lot, but it's just that I really needed you guys to understand that it's so important that you love yourself. I hope that you all flourish through your self-love journey, self-development, inner work, everything. And if you do ever want to contact me, have any suggestions, questions, again, email is in the description, and on my website is also in description. Make sure to have a look at it, because new things will be coming. I'll be updating, making new blog posts, PDF guides. There's going to be a blog post. Actually, the blog post for this episode is actually already out. yeah, the blog post for this episode is out, so you can have a look at it and just show love, isn't it? And I hope you guys are all doing amazing. If you have any tips regarding self-love or anything like that, then please do. Also, if there's anybody that's like been on their self-love journey and feels like they actually have a lot of tips, please do contact me, because I really am looking for just like a lot of women who are in positions a lot higher than us, just so I can have a conversation and learn from you guys, and hopefully even have you guys on the podcast, because I really love learning from people who have been in positions over them, over me. I know I've spoken about self-development over a lot, but this is conversations and just being able to take them in and understanding your journey. I find those things so beautiful because everyone has different journeys in life. And yeah, I'm just rambling on, but I love you guys. I hope you guys all do amazing and hope you have an amazing and blessed week ahead, inshallah. Love you guys. Bye.